there's a group of people that are living in the world and they think life is really hard and they think life is happening to them, but really life is happening for us and through us. We are creating our life. And part of creating a life that you would love is listening to your intuition. Otherwise, you're creating just on repeat whatever happened yesterday. There's a great quote from one of my mentors, like some people live the same year 90 times, and some people live a life they love.
Welcome back, everybody, to A Matter of Speaking podcast for leading voices in the industries of health, wealth, and relationships. We interview young leaders in their industry on how they got there, right? Because a lot of us have a message or a mastery to get out to the world, and we get in our minds. We say, man, other people can do it, but not me. Our hopes is us interviewing these folks and the successes that they've had not only inspires you, it also educates you on their unique mastery, inspires you to get your unique mastery and message out into the world. Today, we're speaking with D.Lisa West. She's the dream doula, and she guides women to listen to the intuition that comes every night during dream time, also during showers, baths, runs, gardening, running, driving, and more, so that life becomes magical, mystical adventure. And once we tune into our intuition, life becomes more of this mystical adventure. Our relationship with others, ourselves, and the work and our work evolve. As our life becomes fun, we remember that life is a lucid dream, even in a waking state, as Deepak Chopra would say. And that's a really fun part of this interview. It was, yes, about how to tap into your dreams more, your unconscious, your subconscious mind. She gives you tips on how to do that, what you can do before bed, what you can do once you wake up, small things to become more aware of our dreams. But a lot of this was about leaning into our intuition and how to do that as well, right? Not just feeling like we're going through the same Groundhog Day, day in and day out. How do we actually tap into that voice behind the veil that guides us to make the decisions we truly want to make while we're here? So we hope you really like it. As always, this podcast is brought to you by LEADR, who have mastered the art of helping people get their authentic message or mastery out into the world and then scale it into their own business. They've been around for 8 years. They have helped people land thousands of talks around the globe. Over 600 to 700 of them were TEDx talks. I am one of those clients. I got to get my TEDx talk out to the world, and the feeling it gives you and resonates in your body is truly magical. On top of that, they show you how to grow and scale your own coaching or consulting business as well to make your first $10,000 in a year and beyond. Putting the right foundations in place so you can scale it organically and authentically without burning out. So if you like that stuff, if you have a message in your mind, a mastery in your heart, you want to get it out to the world, there's a link below. You can watch a free webinar, learn more about what we're doing, and talk to one of our advisors to see if we're the right fit for you. If not, just check out this really awesome podcast with me and D.Lisa West. Let's hop to it. And welcome back to A Matter of Speaking podcast. Episode 47. We're talking relationships, mostly relationship with yourself. We're talking to the dream doula, D.Lisa West. D.Lisa, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me, Dylan. This is fun.
I am so excited. Seeing you get your business really going, seeing your success on TikTok. I've been waiting for this podcast just because you and I get to mess around a lot with each other.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with a question I ask everybody. You're a leading voice. You're a leading voice in the arena of dreams, right? And how we can use them to manifest. Before we get into the dreams, I want to talk about that first word, leading voice. What does it mean for D.Lisa to be a leading voice out there?
Oh, sometimes I'm surprised that people already know who I am when they meet me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? Uh, what do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to someone the other day online. We were having a Zoom conversation, but she found me online, so she already thought she knew me, and she's like, I feel like I'm inside of it. I feel like I'm inside of a TikTok right now. And I said, what? And she goes, yeah, I just like I've watched you on TikTok and now here I am talking to you and there you are. It's so interesting. So I'm happy to be a voice that resonates with people because I have gifts and talents to share and I'm not dead yet. So let's go.
Dude, if you
Let
were
me share
dead,
some. I'm
it'd be
not dead
wild.
yet.
It'd be wild that we're talking right now. But the two things that I heard there is like one, you kind of view it as a badge of honor, and two,
Mm,
it's like this confidence of like, well, I have something to say. I know I have something to say while I'm here, and I'm gonna spend my time doing it. It's very matter of fact. I don't think a lot of people view it through that lens, which we're gonna talk about later in this. And for those that don't know, D.Lisa on TikTok, over 200,000 followers. Kudos to you.
thank
But
you.
it's all in the world of dreams, which I love talking about. Let's start with the top of like, what are dreams to you?
What are dreams to me? Usually I try to blow well, I'll just blow your mind right now.
Right?
This is a dream. This waking life that we're in is a dream,
Mm,
perhaps. People who die and come back to tell the tale say when they died, it was like they woke up and this was just a dream, just a moment in time.
mm,
Then there's this other level of consciousness where we're meditating, and that seems kind of dreamy.
mm-hmm,
Then when we're sleeping, we have dreams 2 hours every night. And some people say to me, I don't dream,
mm-hmm.
but studies show that we dream 2 hours every night. So what is happening in those 2 hours? And why should we pay attention to it? I think dreams are telling us what we need to know, mostly. Sometimes they're just for entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
But dreams are telling us what we need to know, guiding us, like do this, don't do that. Danger, danger. We have a nightmare and it's frightening. And that is maybe telling us to not go down the road we're on.
Mm. It's interesting when you're saying things like that. It gets me thinking like we need rigidity in our quote unquote waking life, right? It's like since a child who doesn't know anything as they grow up. I mean, I have a 2-year-old right now. You slowly have to tell him like what things are. This is a chair. This is a table. And because if not, it's utter chaos. But 30, 40, 50 years of that, this order becomes super rigid in waking life. And then we get to escape to dreams to, like you say, either be entertained or shake that up a little bit. Let the kind of the sand shake itself so it can settle differently. When do you recall, like, when did dreams start being big? I know everyone dreams, but it's like I'm trying to remember like first big dreams that I have. Do you recall when dreams began to be big in your life?
Well, maybe I was always meant to do this because I do remember a dream from before I was in school.
Really?
So, and because you have a 2-year-old, by the way, if you're under the age of 7, you're in the dream state in your mind 100% of the time.
Really?
They're just like, you watch a kid walking around, they're like, what's that?
Mm,
What's that? I mean, they're kind of trying to figure out life and they're in that dream state much of the time. So when I was a kid, I remember having this dream. I was walking in this realistic place. It was raining. I lived in Seattle, so it was like a realistic scene in the dream, walking at the neighbor's house, which happened to be my aunt. Under her deck, drip, 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 water was dripping on me. I could see water at my feet. I'm splashing in this kind of like puddly water, and I look over my shoulder and notice that there are 3 men in a tub. Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub are in my dream. But they're real men. They're not cartoons or they're not a book.
mm-hmm.
One of them is scrubbing his back and there's suds coming over the edge of this bucket. Another one's smoking a cigar. I don't remember what the third guy's doing, but the cigar smoking guy said to me, "Hey, little girl, come over here." And I said, "No." And in the dream, he said, "Yes, you have to." And in the dream, I put my hands on my hips and I said, I don't have to do anything. This is my dream. And if I want to, I can just wake up.
You said
And
that.
yeah. And he said to me, no, you can't, while smoking his cigar. And I said, watch. And in the dream, I squeezed my eyes shut really, really tight. And when I opened them, I was in my bed. And I thought, that's so cool. I'm going back to that dream and I'm going to say, neener, neener, neener. And I closed my eyes and went right back to sleep, but I did not go back into that dream. And then, life happened. Years went by, and I started remembering and thinking about my dreams when I was probably in my 20s. But imagine being so aware that you were in the dream state when
Yeah.
you were in a dream. When you were a kid, no one taught me anything about dreaming.
What? How are some dreams? I mean, from what you know and how long you've been like infatuated with dreams, why are some dreams more vivid than others?
Oh, I believe those are the ones that we need to hear, that
Yeah.
we need to pay attention to. Some dreams are very vivid, like the really bright colors, really bright, and uh, some of them are scary. Those are the ones that we linger. We
Mhm.
can't really just forget them.
Mhm.
And so there's a message in there that's really important to pay attention to, even though, of course, it's a dream, and dream language is different than waking language.
So then would you, because that was going to be my next question, is like, why do we forget them? Or why do we maybe not forget them, but like they almost like lose, it's like, oh, that was just a dream. Some people
Mm.
never, I feel like they're like, they never have it. Does that mean what you just said? Some people don't need that wake up call, or they just forgot how to remember them vividly?
Well, Dylan, maybe in your world you don't know anyone who's just living unconsciously,
Mm,
but there are a lot of people who just think that what they see when they're awake is all there is.
mm-hmm.
But there's more to life than what we see when we're awake that we can touch with our human hands. There's dreams, there's guides and angels, there's the blue. Like when you get an idea and it came out of the blue, where is the blue?
Hmm. If you're
So
asking me, I don't fucking
dreaming,
know.
dreaming, meditating, thinking that there's a quantum field that we're living inside of, that we're creating this reality from and with, that's part of listening to the magic of dreams.
So, would you then say for someone to really use their dreams to manifest the life that they want to live, the first step is to wake up in this waking life, to just not living unconsciously, but to be a
Yeah.
little taking a little bit more. How does someone? Okay, so let's put dreams to the side. And someone's like, I just don't have a lot of dreams. It's like, okay, well maybe you're in such the rat race or in such the hamster wheel that we're living kind of unconsciously in waking life. How does one begin to wake up in their waking life?
That's a really deep and profound question.
Yeah, it's what I have a podcast for.
How do we wake up inside of this dream that we call waking life? I teach people how to pay attention to their intuition. So sometimes we get intuition inside of a dream, and sometimes we get intuition because we're thinking about something, we're pondering a problem or an issue that we want to resolve, and the answer comes in a mysterious way. Maybe it's a song on the radio. Maybe it's a thing that a friend says to you. Sometimes it's just this serendipitous thing that happens. When, like way back when I was a real estate broker, sometimes I would get lost and then we would find the house because I was driving down the wrong street.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd be like, I'm going to look at this house, and that house. And then we'd drive down the wrong street and somebody would say, what about that one?
Mm-hmm.
Is that on our tour? And that would be the house they buy.
Mm-hmm.
But it wouldn't be on the tour because I found it by mistake.
Hmm.
Was it a mistake? Probably not. But that kind of thing happens all the time when
Yeah,
we're awake.
it's interesting because the way you talk about it is magical, right? When I hear that, I'm like, yeah, intuition. But
Yeah.
let's think of someone that might be living a little bit more unconsciously. Do
Hmm.
you feel that? Because they might not realize, like, but once you say it, they're like, oh yeah, that's happened before.
Sure.
So
Haven't
sometimes,
you thought of someone and they called you on the phone?
yeah. Do you think then some? And I don't want to feel like I'm doing a plug for you here. It's just what's coming up. I like talking to my friends about things like this. Do you think sometimes people just need someone in their life to ask the questions that they haven't thought to ask themselves to get them to wake up intuitively?
Yeah, and need to give themselves permission. I mean, some people think it's magic or it's wrong.
Yeah.
Um, and but on the other hand, what's wrong? What's right? I mean, if you're living your life and you're listening to your intuition, then it's just like a fun game. There's a book that was written about 100 years ago by Francis Shovel Shin called
Okay, real quick. Name of the day: Francis Shovel-Shin. Write that down. Oh my God.
The Game of Life and How to Play It. And so she was basically talking about the same thing in 1927, and she said life is a play, and you're the director, and you're the writer, and you're the actors, and you get to choose it.
Mm.
So it's not a new idea to listen to your intuition. Shamans have been helping people dream for years. There used to be dream temples you could go to and sleep in this community area with a shaman to figure out how to be well from illnesses.
You said it earlier too. It's like magic or wrong. Like, when do you feel? I don't want to call it magic. It sucks. I do want to call it magic, but it sucks to say, like, when you call it magic, people are like, oh, fake. When do you
Yeah.
think magic became, or why has magic become wrong or fake?
Ooh, good question.
I got a bunch written
Um,
down.
there's a there's something that happens for women, and I think it's in the collective consciousness. So, like back in the 1600s, if you were very in tune with your intuition and maybe you were a healer or a
Which
midwife, what happened to you?
died.
You got freaking killed.
Yeah.
And so, um, it's not okay to be a witch. It's not okay to be magic,
Mm-hmm.
to do any magic because you might die. No, probably not today. Today, people say I'm a witch and they don't get burned at the stake. But that's still, I think, in our collective consciousness of the
Mm-hmm.
world we live in.
Do you think that the maybe they don't die physically, but it's like they get their voice gets suppressed still when they try to
Oh,
speak magic?
certainly.
Yeah.
Sure, certainly.
How does someone push through it then? Let's say someone wants to get a message out there. Let's say it's not dreams, but it's magic in their own sense. It's like, I have a
Hmm.
message, and to me it's magic. And they deal with that suppression. They don't get the attention they want at first. They don't get the results they're after at first. Like, why do you think for them it's important to work through that?
Well, it comes down to thinking that you deserve it.
Mm.
There are lots of reasons you can tell yourself you can't have it. It's against the rules, it's against the law. Women don't do things like that. People my age don't do things like that. I mean, that is just um, our parts of ourself that are trying to keep us safe because
Mm-hmm.
when you put yourself out there, it's frightening.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe people will reject you. Maybe people and in the collective consciousness there's still that reality like maybe you'll be harmed somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what if you say something controversial, what happens? You've said your truth,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe and the people that resonate with that will listen to it,
Mm-hmm.
and the people that won't will maybe hate you a little bit. Is
Mm-hmm.
that okay?
Should.
I mean, if you're
Yeah.
gonna say something controversial, you have to be willing to be um, disagreed with.
And okay with being disagreed with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if people don't want to listen to their dreams, that's okay with me. But and if people say I don't dream, that's not okay with me. It's a proven fact that everyone dreams.
Yeah. And you
So,
have the confidence and the belief of yourself to you deserve to get this message out to say, hey, I'm going to have people that disagree. I don't care. I don't agree, but I also don't care that they're disagreeing with me. Like, it's not stifling you to get your message out there.
right. I mean, there's a group of people that are living in the world and they think life is really hard and they think life is happening to them,
Mm-hmm.
but really life is happening for us and through us.
Hmm.
We are creating our life. And part of creating a life that you would love is listening to your intuition Otherwise, you're creating just on repeat whatever happened yesterday. There's a great quote from one of my mentors, like some people live the same year 90 times, and some people live a life they love. So you're just gonna go through the motions of living your life and like drinking the beer at the end of the day or smoking the joint at the end of the day.
Let's not fully
Not
downplay
that there's
drinking a beer at
anything
the end of the
wrong
day.
with, not that there's something wrong with relaxing at the end of the day, but if you're just like, oh my God, another day, another dollar, I
Groundhog Day.
hate, I hate my life. Well, guess what? You can get out if you want.
Yeah. Which then kind of leads me to the question I like to ask everybody who's on here getting a message out or building a business. Like, who is it then that starts to come to you for help? You've attracted 200,000 plus 229, I think you told me, 229,000 people on TikTok. And then from those people, there are, women that reach. Who is it that comes to you for guidance or support?
Oh, good question. Mostly women,
Uh huh.
but I'm not opposed to I don't discriminate against any genders. Uh,
Thank you.
the woman that comes to me right now in my practice is they're maybe around 50
Mm-hmm.
and they are successful in so many ways, but there's part of their life that they're really unhappy with. Maybe it's their marriage, maybe it's their job, maybe it's a relationship. I've helped people repair relationships with estranged children. So, like one of my coaching clients didn't talk to her daughter for like 10 years. Now they
Mm.
talk. And she's been married for 41 years and she said I can't have deep conversations with my husband. It just turns into an argument and he yells.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she figured out she could write him a letter and leave it on the counter. And he read the letter recently. They did this. It was so beautiful. She said, I was so upset. He did this and this and that. I wrote him a letter and I put it on the counter with his name on it so no one else would read it in case they came in the house. And I left for the day. And he read the letter and called her and said, honey, I had no idea you felt this way.
Mm.
And then he said, where are you? Are you coming home? And she said, yeah, yeah, I'm coming home. And he said, well, okay, I'll be here when you get here.
It's one beautiful.
Yeah.
Two, it sounds like people have some awareness and light intuitive feel already if they're coming to you. They're like, because the awareness is I'm stuck. There is some stuckness.
Yes. Yes.
And do you think that lady uses her dreams to get to a place like that? Or sometimes do you think people come to you, it's like, yeah, dreams are the outlet, but then they just want to talk to somebody?
I did. That woman is very logical. She's a
Mm-hmm.
businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
She and her husband own a company and they've been working it for years. She's very logical, very straight to the point person.
Mm-hmm.
She's not my typical person, but I said something at a meeting that she was at where whatever that phrase was that I said,
Mm-hmm.
she said, I felt like crying
Hmm.
and I knew I needed to work with you. So it wasn't about dreams. It was about, well, it really was, because I said something about Napoleon Hill, the Think and Grow Rich
Mm-hmm.
guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he was told to say a particular affirmation every day that when he started to say it, he didn't believe it. But after a week or so of saying this affirmation, looking in the mirror and saying it and walking down the street and saying it, he heard a voice in his head that said, well, it could happen. And so that idea that you could be working on yourself and then hearing an intuitive voice in your head was what resonated with her.
Hmm.
So I guess it is about dreams and intuition. I mean, like, if you hear a voice in your head, does like, is that scary,
Yeah.
or is it your intuition talking to you?
Well, it really is. What I'm hearing is your business is. I know business can get like also a non-magical feel to it,
Yeah.
but it's like your business is helping people really trust their intuition. But what gets people in the door and what people like are dreams, and then they realize because they're just thinking dreams is when they go to bed. They're not
Hmm.
thinking dreams as intuition when they're waking, and ways to just really what you want to help is that bridge to help people get into their intuition.
Yes.
What do you think is the biggest, like from the people that have come to you, told you their challenges, whether you're working with them or talking to them on social? Because you're someone that literally talks like messages people on social, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think are some of the biggest challenges that get in the way of either like, of people not understanding their dreams or not understanding their intuition? Does that
The
make sense?
big Yeah, the biggest challenges that keep them from even seeing that intuition could be helpful to them
Mm-hmm.
is they're staring at the problem they have in life and thinking that they just have to get over that and then everything will be okay.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's money, maybe it's love, whatever it is. I mean, I have quite a few people who come to me and they say, I just want to make more money. Then everything will be good.
And then you ask them why they want to make more money, and those people never have an answer to it. Uh,
Yeah.
if I could kind of, and this is only be people that are listening to us on YouTube, but it's like, here is the challenge they're having in their life: money, not enough respect, whatever. And it sounds like what's getting in the way of their intuition is they're only looking at this, and they're constantly looking at it, and all their attention is just going to the problem, and they're not willing to look at it from this lens into intuition because they're so focused on this. Is that is that what
Yeah,
I'm?
yeah,
Yeah.
the logical uh, business coaches tell
Uh-huh.
you like call 7 people and do this and then to do that and then I'll talk to you next week. Well, what if it's easy?
Uh-huh.
Was what one of my returning clients said to me last week. She goes, "You taught me this." And I say it to myself all the time. What if it's easy?
Hmm.
Because when you're looking at all the problems in life and you're thinking this is going to be hard, oh, this is never going to work out. If you just ask yourself, what if it's easy? You can download an idea of how to make it easy.
Hmm. Such an interesting way you have to look at just success in life. And when I say success in life, I don't mean just make more money, get the promotion, have the all the vanity metrics, but actually like find success, even if it is money, but through a much more intuitive, easy flowing way. To me, that's true success. You got to enjoy the journey. If you're just grinding and then you get this carrot at the end and you realize that you don't like the taste of carrots, you just wasted time. Now, can we do some? I have some questions. Oh, go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
I was going to say plenty of people have great success in life and when they get there, they're like, is this all there is?
Yeah. Alan Watts talks about it. He's like, you were sold to go to second grade when you were in first grade, and then you had to be good in second grade to go to third, and so on and so on.
Yeah,
And then you had to be good at high school to go to a good college, and you had to be good in college to get a good job, and then you have to get a good job. It's got to be like aspirations to promotion, and all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're 58 years old and impotent, and you're vice president of a company, and you go, huh? Like
yeah,
this is what I was shooting towards, you know? So if we can stop that earlier, leaning into our intuition, it makes the journey so much easier. And you are a big believer that a good way of leading into your intuition is let's put the attention on dreams. Let's put the attention on what your subconscious mind's trying to tell you.
yeah.
I have a few questions just, and it could be maybe it's rapid fire because we are getting
Okay,
towards the end here.
do
Rapid
it.
fire on dreams. I think the first thing someone needs in order to like understand their dreams and have their subconscious talk to them is they need to get better sleep.
Yeah.
What's your quick prescription for someone that needs to get better sleep so they can dream?
The latest technology on that from all the experts is sleep. Go to sleep at the same time every night.
Mm-hmm.
Have a ritual before bed where at least 30 minutes before bed you don't look at the screens.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe have a cup of tea, a bath, whatever. So your body knows it's time to go to sleep.
Mm.
And then sleep in a room that's cool and dark.
Okay. Okay. Hold on.
Those are your best sleep practices.
I'm writing these down for a friend of mine that needs this stuff. Sleep same time, ritual before bed, 30 minutes, no screen, cool dark room, because you need to prime your body to get
Yeah.
ready to. Okay. I don't have dreams or I can't remember my dreams. Best way to record one's dreams.
You have something to write on and
What, do you
something to
just
write
have that in
with.
your hand?
Right? And well, it's my everything, but you have something to write on and write with right next to your bed.
Uh huh.
So you maybe in the morning you wake up and you need to really quickly go to the bathroom, do that, come back to bed and write down the dreams that you had in this way. One, what's happening in your waking life? Like, what did you do yesterday? What are you thinking about? What are you worrying about? Write that down. Write down what day it is and where you are in the world. Maybe you're on vacation, maybe you're at home.
Hmm.
Then write down the dream in as much detail as possible, including emotions. And if you saw something that's really spectacular, do a little doodle drawing of what that is.
Hmm.
Then you can put it away. Think about it later.
Hmm.
I've only in the last few years started to rate it this way with what's happening in waking life versus the dream. And I can go back into those journals and go, oh, totally get that message.
Hmm.
Later on, the message is super clear if it's not clear that day because the dreams are usually connected to what's happening that you're thinking about.
I like that, and it doesn't. I'm not putting judgment on any dream that I'm having. I'm just writing it down. I can come back to it later.
Yeah.
Okay? Next question. You said this word on a TikTok recently, and then I started seeing it everywhere that I'd never really heard. Liminal. What's the difference between liminal dreaming and lucid dreaming?
Oh, good question.
Lady,
Liminal,
I'm full of them.
the liminal state is between when you're awake and when you're asleep,
Mm-hmm.
or when you're asleep and awake. And there's Greek words for each of those states. I don't remember hypnagogic, hypnopopic.
It's Greek. Who cares?
The so that is the beautiful place to go if you're an inventor, a writer, trying to dream up anything. Einstein used it, Salvador Dali used it, Thomas Edison used it. They would sit in their workshops while working on something and purposefully go into the sleeping. They'd be sitting up. Um, Edison used ball bearings and buckets under his hands. Dolly used a big metal plate and a big key, and they would sit in a comfortable chair and doze off. And when they fell asleep enough that the clanking of whatever they were holding would wake them, they would write down what they were dreaming about, or they would, Salvador Dali would draw, which is why his paintings look like melted clocks
Mm-hmm.
and weird things like that. That is a place where you can really tap into all the creative stuff. It's a little bit harder to remember those dreams because they're like little snips, little tiny pieces, like the dreaming when you're falling down into sleep. This is happening now. This is happening now. You're falling off a cliff. Now you're in dreams. But that liminal state is really powerful.
Hmm. And then lucid.
Lucid means you're awake enough to know that you're dreaming. So
You
you're
when
like,
you
oh,
were a
wait,
kid.
I'm in a dream. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I didn't think I'm in a lucid dream as a kid. I'm just like, this is my dream.
Mm-hmm.
So you can wake up inside of a dream, and there are three ways to do that. You can wake up in a dream and think, oh, this is a dream, and you're watching it like it's a movie. You can wake up in a dream and you're in the dream, like one of the characters, and you know that it's a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can wake up in the dream and know that everything in the dream you can change and shift. You can fly, you can change the walls, you can have the characters do different things.
How do
There
you?
are yogis who can meditate inside of the dream space. It's called dream yoga.
Jeez.
So if you're a really powerful yogi and you've meditated a lot, you can be in a dream and know, oh, I'm in a dream. And then you can go into the space where you're meditating in dreamland and you're nowhere, no thing.
You're literally going. This is Inception. You're going like layers into Dream World.
Yeah, and the way that I've read about doing it is that in whatever room you're in this dream, when you become lucid, you can slip through the floor
Hmm.
and go into the meditation.
Hmm. I don't know if the three things were just the types of lucid dreaming, or I thought you were about to say there's ways you can go into lucid dreaming. Would you recommend anything to like tap into it, or is it just like you got it when you got it, and it's not?
Yeah, there's lots of books about lucid dreaming. There are some people tell you to wake up at a certain time every night and stay awake for a bit. Uh, some people tell you to take certain vitamins
Mm-hmm.
to have better lucid dreams. Uh, and the thing is, how do you know you're in a dream versus how do you know if you're awake?
Mm-hmm.
There's one guy who wrote, I forget who said this now, but he did lucid dreaming for over a year, uh, purposefully. And during the day, sometimes he would wonder, am I dreaming or am I awake? So his tell was he hopped. If he was
Mm.
walking across a field, he would hop. And if he came back down to the ground, he was awake. And in dreamland, he would just keep floating up and up and up.
Mm. Kind of like knowing his cues.
Yeah.
You're you're so knowledgeable on the dream world. It's so fun talking to you about it. How could someone that's just listening to this, how do they get a taste of D.Lisa West's dream knowledge or dream work?
Ooh, such a good question. Well, you can always find me on social. I'm on all the places at D.Lisa Dream Doula.
At D.Lisa Dream
I
Doula.
occasionally do workshops on dreams. I used to do once a month, but my tech guy quit. So now I have to figure out how to
There's a
do
lot
that
of tech
again.
guy.
Technology. Tech. Hello, tech guy, call me. Um, so yeah, watch me online, connect with me there. I have dream sessions that I'm offering for people. And so sometimes people just call me up and talk about a dream, and we get down to what might be the possible meaning of it.
Hmm. I love that. Okay, cool. It's been awesome watching you build your business and grow it through the leader program. What would you say is the biggest takeaway, the biggest learning you've had since being a part of Inner Circle and Leader when it comes to growing your business and your mastery?
Can I swear on here?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay, here's the deal. When I joined it, I was told by the person who enrolled me, just do whatever the fuck they tell you to do. Now, I went in there kind of like, I already, I know how to do this. I already have a program. I'm not going to do this. And then I would hear in the back of my mind, just do what they tell you. You guys have a great program. It's very thorough. It's so deep. There's so many things to learn. And probably my biggest learning to kind of crack me open was 3 TikToks a day. I was like, really? Three? That's so many. But I've done 3 TikToks a day now for a year. A frickin'
229,000.
year, Dylan.
$229,000.
Um, 3 TikToks a day.
Yeah, I think it's
Keep
tough.
the doctor away.
I think it's tough
Like,
when people hear that, but it's like there's so many people out on social marketing because it's been a boom in the last 5 to 10 years. People really using social. People buy from those they know, like, and trust. And if we're not posting consistently, they don't know you enough to then know if they could like you, to then know if they could trust you. Um,
yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
cons-
And up until that, up until the social media thing, I was doing in person, workshops in person and going to networking groups. And that's also a really good way to build your
yeah.
business. A little bit slower.
I think regardless, it's the consistency of it. Yeah, you're right. It's a little bit slower because you have less people. It's like now you can reach a lot more people, but the consistency has to be there. Okay.
Yes.
We're venturing into the uncomfort zone, right? I have this in every interview that I do. You talk about dreams. You've decided to get them out to the world. You know that there are people that are going to disagree with you, and to talk about something that you're passionate about is uncomfortable, right? Like it just is. And I think a lot of people want to be like, I want to be like D.Lisa. I want to have 230,000 people following me. But it's the uncomfort barrier that we don't get through enough to do what you're doing, right? Why did you decide to get uncomfortable to get this message out to the world?
Well, I alluded to it earlier. I'm at a certain age where I'm looking at there's probably fewer years left in my lifespan than the ones I've already lived.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, if not now, when?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what
Yeah.
am I waiting for? And who cares if I look this is the other thing that being on social media will cure you of. Who cares if my hair's askew? Who cares if I'm wearing lipstick or makeup? Or if I'm standing inside or outside, or what I say, I kind of bumble my words. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I have a message to share. I'm going to say it.
Hmm.
When I first did TikTok, my hairdresser from Seattle told me I should put makeup on. And he said, young, pretty people, young, handsome men, and young, beautiful women, they're the ones that get followers on TikTok. So you better, make yourself look better. And I said, Robert, no, not gonna. He goes, oh. just put some lipstick on then. You're not going to put makeup on.
No.
And I was like, okay, I'll put some lip gloss on if my lips are dry. But no,
Mm.
you don't have to make yourself look perfect or speak eloquently to have people hear your message. You just have to be who you are.
Why do you think most people don't get outside their comfort zone? Because, like you said, well, if not now, when? I mean, there's a lot of people that either never ask themselves that, or they do and still don't do it. Why do you, ego hat off, why do you think there are people out there that don't get outside their comfort zone?
People are afraid of being seen. People are afraid of rejection. People are afraid someone will disagree with them.
Okay, so then how, last question. Last question of this entire podcast. What would your thoughts, what would your piece of advice, what would your coaching, what would be your wisdom you want to impart on someone who hears this, might still somewhat fear a rejection slightly, but they're like teasing them. They're at like the precipice of comfort and uncomfort. What would those final words to them be from D.Lisa Dream Doula?
Someone who's building a social media following, you mean?
Mm. No, I think anything. I think someone who is getting ready to get uncomfortable, getting their message out to the world. That could mean social media that they're growing. That could mean they just start talking about it more. That could mean they're starting to build the business, like early phases, but it's like they know it's going to be uncomfortable. They're close to it. Like, what would be your advice to them to break through that uncomfort barrier?
I think you could just imagine that there's one person, like if you could help one person
Hmm.
and their life was changed and see the ripple effect of that. Um, People tell me things, and maybe this will be a good story to end with. Someone who I thought didn't like me, the brother of a very early boyfriend of mine. I saw him maybe 25, 30 years after I had seen him before, and he said, "Oh, you inspired me so much." I said, "What?" Because I'm thinking he's going to like, "How are you?"
Hmm.
"I'm a photographer now," he said. Like, what? Because you used to always take pictures and you had the dark room in your basement, remember? And so now I have a camera and I take pictures and it's so much fun. So you never know what you're going to say to someone or what you're going to be as an inspiration for them that makes them have a happy life. Just share who you are.
Hmm. D-Lisa, this has been awesome. And what a cool, I always like to recap episodes after I chat with people. It's like it's so fun because it comes back to the very first thing that you said. Here's some of the notes that I have. Because you don't know who you're going to impact and what your message has to say in someone else's life, even if it's one person. And you should wear that, like you said, being a leading voice from the very beginning as a badge of honor. Have confidence and know that how you look at dreams, we're in a dream right now. Make the most of it by leaning into your intuition. We talked about a lot of people are in this unconscious living. And the way to break free of that is to start to tap into your intuition. Sometimes you need someone to ask the questions to help you get there. And then you utilizing our sleep dream life to have our intuition speak to us, right? Um, we talked about ways that you can start to remember your dreams, sleep schedule, go to sleep at the same time, have a ritual before bed, cool, dark room, prime your body to go into this state, and then keeping a journal next to your bed, right? And when you write down in that journal what's happening in your waking life, where are you currently at right now, and then what was the dream about, so you can you're starting to have this conversation with intuition. Um, and though you help people in their sleep dream life first, it can be done in their waking dream as well. Um, D.Lisa, this was an incredible podcast. Thank you so much for being a part of this. If anyone's watching, if you like this, subscribe, comment below if you have a big question, or hey, what are potential next steps you can take, or what is something you'd like D.Lisa or us to go a little bit more in depth on. We will get back to you in the comments. But that being said, D.Lisa, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for being a part of this today.
Oh, thank you, Dylan. It was so fun.
Good. I had a shit ton of fun too. I took a bunch of notes. Hopefully you watching did as well. And as always, we will see you in the next episode of Matter of Speaking podcast for Leading Voices. Take care.